More blue t-shirt contest. It's not a t-shirt. 100% cotton from that one shirt. And I figured we could see what it does to or with what hydrogen peroxide does. People say you can use hydrogen peroxide for bleaching and cleaning and all sorts of stuff. I've certainly used it. I've used some pretty strong concentrations for whitening my whites, but I don't suspect that there's going to be any change at all in this 2%. Although I tried to get swatches of this that didn't have anything on them from splashes of other stuff, or there's like paint on this shirt and stuff. So anyway, but we'll leave that in there for a while and see what it looks like. That's 3%. That's our 3% going. It is bubbling. I'm actually kind of surprised at that. It's sudsing a little bit, which bodes very well for the higher concentrations we're going to do. Can you tell I have a cold? 6%. 50 mils. As you can see, I'm not even wearing gloves yet, because, yeah. I'll leave that in there for a while. See what that one does, and also see how permanent marker is, I guess. Even congested, oxygen or hydrogen peroxide has a smell. That's 3, 6, and this is the little bit I had left of 12%, which is getting to the point that I don't want to get it on my skin. 12. So we did 3%, which is what you get in the pharmacy. We doubled that to 6, doubled that to 12. We could double this and get to 24, but I'm gonna do instead half of what my actual concentration of 50% is. So we'll do 3, 6, 12, 25. And then after checking to see that it's not gonna like explode or anything, we'll see about doing 50%. So it's been about 20 minutes since the first one went in, and I put them in pretty rapid succession. I didn't let them wait, because at least in these concentrations, hydrogen peroxide is not that scary. But it's very bubbly and very sudsy. Your experience with hydrogen peroxide might have been, in bygone days, putting it on a wound, like we are told not to do anymore. I'll be interested to see primarily what happens to this blue dye, and whether it looks brighter, cleaner, or just more faded. So it's been like an hour for these, and is that as much as they're gonna get? They still kind of bubble up a little bit, but I Yeah. So that was 3, that one's 6, that one's 12. We leave them overnight and see if the cellulose apparently doesn't oxidize terribly easily. So let's see what we can do. We'll leave them overnight and then we'll get around to doing the real high concentration stuff. So we'll leave them overnight. All right, it's about 12 hours later. This is the 3%. It's not really bubbly anymore, right? Like, I have an idea of how we can test that to see if that's the case, but you know, the color is the same. That 3 in permanent marker is still very much there. This is 6. Can we see? Don't know where I wrote. I don't know where the 6 is, but we'll take these out. I'm going to take these out and let them dry and see if the texture or the color is different once they're dried. But the way we can see how, if these have been neutralized or if they've sort of, you know, how much oxygen they still have left in the H2O2 is to plop some potassium permanganate in there. So I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'll take that one out. Three still very much there. 6. 6 still very much there. And 12. 12 still very much there. Do the colors look, I mean, basically the same? They do, don't they? What's cool about the cleanup for hydrogen peroxide is that basically you just have to rinse it. It doesn't, like, you don't have to neutralize it, you don't have to whatever, because it's, can I not scoop some, whatever. So that still goes, huh? That's the 3. That's the 6. I don't know what that means is. That's a cool comparison, huh? Which one do you think is hotter? That's very hot. Warm. Cool. Once you pour some water in there, they do look like soda or Guinness, don't they? This one obviously has the most... It's making the most noise. I think it has the most unreacted permanganate in it. Because these guys are basically done. Anyway, that's all. We're gonna see what those look like when they dry. They just don't look that different, do they? They're almost completely dry now. They're slightly damp to the touch, but 3, 6, 12. The color really hasn't changed at all. The color in this room right now where I am is a little bit yellow. As you can see from this white paper they are on. But basically no change across the 3 of them. And it hasn't, it's not like it's gonna tear easily or something. It hasn't become weaker in any way. The texture feels the same. So I'm gonna say, you know, perhaps over time with 12%, you would degrade and sort of damage the fabric more, but I see no difference really between these 3.